Okay, good afternoon and good evening and good morning to our TikTok followers on Crossroads Wellness Center, Uganda. Today we are glad that we are doing a video and we are trying to explain some of our programs with our viewers, with our audience, and it's a great advantage and opportunity for me and for every one of us from our team to get to share with you guys from wherever you are, from wherever you are watching us from. Uh, Probably some of our followers here, you could have been watching us on our TV programs that broadcast usually every Wednesdays morning on different TVs that we do use, such as UBC Star TV, such as Gogude TV, and other platforms where we'll be streaming. We've actually not had an opportunity to post any video here on TikTok that really explains some of our latest programs and what we are doing. But today I take this great honor for me to share with you uh, some of our things that we are doing and that we are working on. You know, as Crossroads Wellness Center Uganda, a community-based organization, fully registered, we are very passionate about our communities because we share the same challenges, backgrounds. We've been raised in common environments that actually gives us an upper hand to understand what exactly is happening and affecting uh, people. Basically, Crossroads Wellness Center Uganda is we are more into we not more, but we're basically into mental health related services or challenges. However, we give a keen attention to women, girls, youth, children, and generally the whole community, because when it comes to mental health related challenges, this they do not segregate nor do they discriminate. For instance, I'll give you an example. Lately, we had a report from Western Uganda in Ankole districts. Basically, it was only talking of a highlighted challenge from Bara district, where they are saying that HIV today is very prevalent in Bara district, and girls between the ages of 15, 16 to women or ladies between the ages of 27, 29. 29 are the ones who are most common affected, and it is prevalent between that age group. Now, one of the things that we are picked out as to be fueling this was alcohol and drugs. Now, this brings me back to our core point of existence. Now, when it comes to Crossroads Wellness Center Uganda, we are trying to address and combat these challenges and these problems in the community. Now, I won't talk about general mental health. I won't talk about addictions. I won't talk about smoking. I won't talk about smoking. I won't talk about any of that. This is not the reason why we are doing this video for you people, for our viewers today. Now, basically, this video is about something that we've lately introduced. Now, what we have introduced, and in the comment section, I mean it down in the comments of this video, I'll put those flyers and some information if you really need to reach out. Now, this video, the reason why we are doing this is we want to share with you the program that we've introduced, and this is basically for young people, for both men and women, or girls and boys. Yesterday, but when someone asked me a question, do men also get hurt in relationships? Yes, they do get hurt. And I also speak from a perspective that I'm a man, and I don't know, and I also know what it means. If maybe you had your loved one, if maybe you were used to that, how have you been, babe? How have you been, babe? I mean, how was your day? How was your morning? How was your night? And then today you wake up and there's nothing like anything like that and used to that. I know how it feels. And basically, that we share common backgrounds and experiences. We may not have necessarily experienced them or more or something like that, but being in this profession and having interacted with so many young people around the country, I understand what this means. Or maybe somehow, somewhere, I've seen someone who I personally have been a victim or whatever it is. So I know, I understand that so many young people today, we've developed suicidal ideations or thoughts or attempts or to commit suicide or to end our lives. We found life not worthy to live anymore, simply because we are stuck into such kind of mud and such kind of situations. So today what we're going to talk about in this short video, probably the extended one will be coming on later, but today we're taking an opportunity to share with you about what we've called join our breakup support group. Now, the reason why we are doing this is that we will need to guide you recover with dignity in a very safe guided environment. It hurts, and I know, I understand that so many young people today are waking up trying to process thoughts of the people they have given their bodies, the people they have loved for their lives. You know, you don't know what it means if that young girl who is 22 thought that she actually had met the man of her dreams, and all of a sudden, this young man, all they are doing is playing games on them. We have young girls out there who have been prayed more and more and more many times. As I just have said, we have young people, we have young girls basically who are tired of playing games, who are tired of even relationships. They are giving up on relationships. No wonder that we are seeing common things on Facebook today, on social media, whereby young people are saying, nze love nagivaako, nze y'abasajja nabivaako, men are trash, men are dogs. No wonder that we are seeing common memes on Facebook, on social media. I don't know if those Instagram or Twitter, but I usually see these things happening there. And yes, this underlays the kind of deep bitterness that is in these people's minds and hearts, because you don't expect someone who's been prayed for more than 3 times to come and clap hands for what's happening today. Many of the cases that have been working on throughout the country, youngers especially, are suffering with breakups. I mean, they are finding themselves stuck. They are losing the appetite to food. They are losing the morale to act in society, the job they've been doing. I mean, their lives have been distracted. I think like a week ago, I met a young girl who is 19 in a certain community in Wakiso district. And when I approached this girl, normally I have a method how I identify these people, and then I weigh them. So came looking for this girl because someone had told me about her, and I found her after some time. She's just 18, 19 there. And then when I tried to speak to her, you know, she was high on drugs, she was high on alcohol, and she was in a company of around 20 boys who were also high at that moment. She was skimpy dressed in a skimpy dress, and then almost her breasts were showing up, when with one, I mean, and one of her breasts had a tattoo. And when I tried to speak to her, she couldn't give me her time. But when I insisted and convinced her, she finally agreed to speak to me. And she told me, you know what? I got into this after I break up with my boyfriend, who I thought I had got the man of my dreams, and I thought I would settle with him. But eventually, he started cheating on me. He quit. I mean, and my life was brought into ruins, into the miseries you're seeing. I decided to go this way. I mean, I had a bitter exchange with my parents, especially my mom, when she tried to stop me from leaving home. I thought she was, she was mad. She couldn't understand me. I abused her and I left home. And now this is the kind of life I am living and I'm leading, and I can't find myself. But I want to try find myself and my worth again, but I can't on my own. I mean, I was so touched, I was deeply touched, and I was like, okay, would you mind if we would have a program with you? Would you mind if we would try to talk to your family? Maybe we see if we could reunite you with your family. She was like, I know my mom is bitter and she probably won't accept me back home and all that. And that was really kind of disheartening thing. And I understand from the side of the parents that were bitter because their child had decided to go this way, and they couldn't like that. And no any parent would like to see their child being wasted away like that simply because it's a relationship. And many other examples I could go on and go on and mention, including one where this girl has been, the parents are telling her, you're taking long to heal. We from our community, we are known to be strong women. Women never cry. We don't cry. It's a shame that you are actually believing that the boy just left you. But then they do not know that this young girl has been hurt 3 times. She's been prayed, and then into this relationship that led to this kind of circumstance she finds herself in, trying to commit suicide and being hospitalized having struggles every morning. She wakes up and she gives me a phone call. She's like, "Hey, Derek, I feel like there is a chest mist in my, there is like a mist forming in my chest. I can't breathe. I don't want to eat. I don't want to see anyone. I even feel like I don't want to go to work today. I feel like I am stuck." It's like, what can I do to forget all this? Then when we started the therapy, then I realized that there were lots of things that were done to her, lots of injustices. She was blackmailed, she was used. The boy never loved her, she only wanted her money and all that. And then when he failed to get his target, and then he started telling people around the village, after all, the girl is bitter, is ugly, she's older than me even, I can't marry her, I got a university girl. And by the time this young girl came to realize, this boy had already impregnated the other university leave, and this one was a working class, and then we were already preparing for introduction and whatever. And and yet they had the in their tradition, when you want to marry someone from their tradition, you first write a letter. People who come from that side, when I talk about writing a letter, I will know. So the guy's family had already written a letter to this girl's family. But all of a sudden, it takes a sudden change, and this boy is telling people different stories, but he doesn't want these people to sit the two of them together and try to analyze what went wrong. Instead, he's telling people that it was her who was bad, everything it is blamed on her. So by the time I picked up this girl, by the time I found this girl, she was already crying that maybe she's been the problem why everything was failing. But then when we talked eventually, she realized she was never the problem, but actually the guy had his own intentions and plans. Sorry, and that's a few examples of what many other young girls could be going through right now. Now, should we let this be a trend that young girls are going to lose their selves, their lives, lose their worth? And because it lowers, one, it lowers your confidence, your self-esteem, your social motivation, your work motivation, your other relationships. So we need to guide these people who are struggling into this, into a safe-guided environment, such that we help them heal with dignity, to understand where they went wrong or what went wrong, and prepare for their next. And remember, the time you spend trying to grieve and crying and trying to process the thoughts, still time is flying. And it's like, what this one of the other examples, this young girl was racing against time. She was like, when I asked her, why do you think you feel like you have reached the end and you're having your wall, your back rubbed against the wall? She was like, I am aging, I'm getting old, all my peers have married. I said, oh yes, I know that, and I can see, and you've already told me your age. And she's like, yes, what am I going to do? Who is going to marry me? I'm like, are you in a race with anyone? So do you think everyone in this world must get married anyway? I am not saying that if that happens, you shouldn't get married, but I am saying you're not in a race with anyone, and you should not run your race according to how your friends are doing it. That is one of the greatest challenges these people are creating, comparing their lives with their friends. No, you don't know. You don't have to be like your friend, and your friend doesn't have to be like you. So we need to help young people try to understand that that's life. That's life. How can we guide someone to really realize that it's not a curse? You're not being under spell. You've not been bewitched, but that's life. And how are we going to do this? And our basic mode of intervention, we're not only going to rely on moral psychologists or mental controls or therapies or whatever, just like you are used, because we will always have lapses and relapses eventually. So our model is faith based. We need to understand how we can get into relationships basically in a biblical perspective, and how we can heal in a biblical perspective once a failure happens. When you lose that engagement, it hurts. When especially you cannot see, you wake up and you are expecting that good morning message and you don't get it. It is very hard and it hurts really. But do we need to keep, grieving ourselves for who is not texting us? Do we have to live our lives like they rotate around a man you met who is old? But I can tell you that sometimes I want to tell you that you youngers who are watching this video, I want to tell you this because I'm a man. Now, men who will not value you, they do not deserve your time. And if you try to buy yourself on a man, probably giving him your eggs or trying to buy your presence around them, you're not doing anything except that I shall call that a huge waste of time. Now, for men who run away from girls who deeply and truly love them, they are not running away from women. They are running away from the parts of themselves that they can never fix. I want to tell you because I am a man. And I want to tell you, these young girls who are facing this situation today, it's obvious like this. This is the men's perspective, if they're to be honest with you. Women are never left. No. When we think we dumped them, women are never dumped. It is only that those who not are worthy to be into their lives have to walk away. So in other words, today you should know your value, that you were never left, you were never dumped. You can never dump a woman. No way. It doesn't happen in my world. Girls are never dumped because you don't understand their value. And if someone understands the value of a woman who truly loves them, they will never leave them. And this is what we want to discuss. And we are using a perspective of exactly the people who have been into those challenges and how did they process, or those who are still stuck into such a situation. So I implore you, would you like to join us today and find out how you can help with the dignity? If I am talking to someone like you right now, or you're watching this video, would you please contact us today? We have our dedicated WhatsApp number. I'm going to cut this video short such that you get enough time to watch, and I will be putting more information or maybe in our subsequent videos. But if you would really be interested to know much about this, um, we are on our WhatsApp number or our call line or our support line, which is, if you are in Uganda, you don't need our country code or calling code, but it is 0200914432 or 0200914432. If maybe you're outside Uganda and you really wish to reach out, it's 256 256. That's our country code, that's our calling code. You can do that. But if again you are in Uganda, you still can send a WhatsApp on that number or you can call. But unless if you are finding troubles going through calling that number, you still can call on our other alternative number. That's an MTN line 0781819292, and someone is always available and waiting for your calls. So you can call and reach out, and you can also comment anywhere or send us a direct message on our TikTok account, or maybe go on Facebook and check out Crossroads Wellness Center Uganda, or the same name on our Twitter account, or maybe visit our website on Google search engine and get in touch with us. I can tell you this program is available and it's running, and you can join us, and you'll be able, once you have joined, you will be able to ask anything you want. You will be able to interact with everyone amongst our team and those other people who we think we share the same backgrounds. Also have other programs for maybe for addictions, those who are stuck into addictions such as alcohol or whatever it is, or smoking or betting. And the good thing with this is that we are utilizing the digital presence, the online presence, and you'll be able to access all that we are doing. We arrange confidential private calls or confidential video links, basically, or customized or personalized support. So you don't need to, and then for like the alcohol-based one, it's called Alcoholics Anonymous Support Program. So you don't need to get scared of people seeing you or knowing you. We can only arrange this according to your will and your wish and your time and your location. So I implore you, if you are there watching and you think any of my words could be a fit for any of you or your friends or relative or loved one, kindly reach out and let us know how we can work together. Thank you. See you next time.